It's almost like we're a married couple that
Almost.
hey, almost slightly. So anyways, um,
He's uncomfortable right now. That was an uncomfortable laughter.
no. I didn't know we were sharing. So the first thing.
Sharing what? Okay,
See, this is what happens when Dimitri's not here. We have a ridiculous stream.
This is gonna get nuts.
Whoa, dudes and dudettes, it's Dan Mitre, community manager and meme lord for DICE, here to talk to you about our latest update to Battlefield 1, which coincides with the biggest expansion for Battlefield yet, called In the Name of the Tsar. Aw, shit, bro. I forgot I was supposed to say DLC and not expansion, because then it seems like I forgot that Bad Company 2 Vietnam was an entire reskin for a game and an expansion, and of course Battlefield Hardline, which is basically like an expansion that we turned into an entire $60 game with a $50 DLC add-on. Anyways, this DLC includes 5 new maps, 6 total if you include Lupkow Pass that we dropped like a shit sesh after a Chinese buffet. We went for quantity over quality in this update, and it shows after you get through the gnarly map Zaritzin with its cathedral, then Albion, which has multiple islands and doesn't actually play like shit. I'm looking at Ufal Fortress and Bruzilov Keep, which is a village in the Carpathian Mountains, and hopefully the behemoth on this map doesn't step out of a painting. Volga River and Galicia are basically flat maps with random shit strewn about, with Galicia being the only map in this DLC that isn't covered in snow, an easy reskin from Volga River. Since there are new maps, there's also 2 new operations, Bruzilov Offensive, which includes the wide open vehicle fuckfest that is Galicia, and then the complete opposite infantry grinder, Bruzilov Keep. Then there is Red Tide, where the Russian White Guard and the Red Army fight in civil war for both of those maps, Zaritzin and Volga River. And of course, there's also a new game mode called Supply Drop, where you capture areas to get ammo and other supplies. Tubular, man. We showed off the new game mode and maps on our Battlefield 1 stream, which unfortunately I couldn't be at because of a bad hair day, but I got Fat David Beckham to host it instead.
By the way, Mitri says hello, but since he's not here, I was like, let's give away a lot of
The
stuff.
meme lord himself said hello.
The meme lord. Yep, he's over at the mothership right now.
Speaking of our stream, we talked about the new weapons in this DLC, but we couldn't be bothered to unlock them before we went live to show them off to everyone as a means to hype up the game and get them to actually throw down money on this DLC. Total bummer. Anyways, there are 2 new weapons for each class this time instead of 1 new weapon with 2 variants because we got called out for being a beach bum. For the assault class, as if we didn't have enough automatic weapons with huge magazines that have no business being in a World War I game, there's a Maxim SMG with 80 rounds and a double barrel model 1900 shotgun, of which one of those variants requires you to get kills with a pistol for some odd reason. Far out. The support class Perino model 1908 LMG also requires a kill with a pistol, and speaking of Recoculus challenges, the other support class weapon, Parabellum MG 1417, requires you to kill 2 airplanes with LMGs. That should be an absolute joy to earn. The scout weapons include the Vetterli Vitali M1870-87, which has less range than the number of letters in its name, and Mosin Nagant 91, which, by the way, is the first Russian weapon I'm mentioning for this Russian DLC. Crazy, yo. The medic class gets another Russian weapon, the Fedorov Automat, which is like the first assault rifle ever created, so those Call of Duty players that are coming over will feel right at home. And the General Lu rifle, which is actually from China, who is absent from the First World War like those cool kids who cut class, but then you remember that Russia and China actually do share a huge border, and that's at least closer than the other DLC guns, which are from Germany, the US, and Italy. For the vehicle class, we ran out of ideas, so we reused the C93 pistol and turned it into the C93 carbine with a suppressor that is as useful as a condom with a hole in it because of the minimap changes where you don't show up when you shoot your gun. For the sidearms, we actually stuck to the Russian theme with the Nagant revolver and Obrez pistol, which is going to be a one-shot machine for those players that feel the need to hack the game because they aren't any good, but neither is our anti-cheat. There's also a new grenade, which was to just check off an item on a list somewhere, new vehicles, and other weapons to slap people with in a shooter game, but the Dud Club is a club with a dud nade on the end, which could possibly explode. Boom! Now onto the stuff that's for all players, even though everyone still has to download the entire patch for the reasons that we stated on stream to try to justify locking content that people have on their hard drive behind a paywall.
Oh, well, we have a lot of content that we want everybody to be able to try, including service assignments and specializations.
Yep,
So these are things that we need everybody to be able to download some of this content so they can all see the same things on the servers.
Absolutely. And you know, one of the cool things that I really like that we've done is premium trials and premium friends and spectator mode. Like, you don't have to own the expansion, but you can go watch a match.
There wasn't much in terms of actual fixes, again with this patch, since we were busy doing the new content in order to cash in on the people that had faith in us with the premium program, but are still underwhelmed at the 6 months between DLC drops. There's new medals, ribbons, and dog tags for hoarders that like to collect shit, HDR10 support for people that spend way too much money on their fortresses of virginitude, and added an auto repair feature for stationary weapons after 2 minutes because people can't be asked to run a repair tool. But the only thing that people seem to notice is that we added chromatic aberration that makes it look like someone splooged on your screen. Guess that's what happens when Battlefield players teabag each other too often and don't follow the etiquette. And of course, we didn't put an option to turn this off. Why would we think anybody wouldn't like this feature? The big update here is with Specializations, a feature that nobody asked for but was in previous Battlefield games on launch that wasn't in this one, even though this game had about the same amount of content as a board game. You start with 3 generic specializations: flak that reduces explosive damage, cover to reduce suppression, and quick regen to decrease heal time, but you can also unlock other ones that can apply to any class, such as quick unspot, bayonet training to increase duration and decrease recovery from your bayonet charge, hasty retreat to speed you up while getting suppressed, and camouflage to make you invisible to spot flares when stationary or walking. There's also class-specific specializations like for assault, juggernaut to decrease explosive damage while wearing gas mask, and controlled demolition to detonate TNT sequentially for those not at all often moments when a tank drives in a straight line directly over your dynamite. For medic, stimulant syringe, which gives a speed boost to you and the revived teammate, and concealed rescue, where down squad mates near you drop smoke like they're Snoop Dogg. Drop it like it's hot, drop it like it's hot. For support, there's unbreakable, where incoming suppression is reduced when bipod is deployed, and pinned down, where enemy spots are increased in duration when they are suppressed by you. And for scout, scapegoat, where a decoy is deployed when you're below 35 health, and perimeter alarm that will mark enemies when tripwires are triggered like feminists. These specializations are supposed to help make those underused gadgets more effective, but they still come off as scenarios whereby this won't help anyone at all and just makes things more confusing around the map for the sake of adding shit into the game. You can unlock those other specializations by doing service assignments, which we know that you guys trying to unlock the DLC weapons love doing challenges, right? Service assignments are also to help out those new scrubs that just bought the game from the Battlefield Revolution pack. Oh, and other actual fixes will be coming later in the month, like weapon damage changes to make time to kill faster due to all of the Call of Duty players that are now jumping ship after the shitty World War II beta, but we're actually going to give some time for those changes to bake on the CTE this time around, almost as if we know what we're actually doing.
Well, then we've kind of robbed from Peter to pay to Paul, or whatever the English phrase is. So
wait, you're English. You should know the phrase.
I know. As I was saying it, I was like,
I think you're already getting a few comments coming in.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's right. By
yeah.
building Battlefield players, building better Battlefield players, we make Battlefield better for all.
Oh my gosh, did you practice that?
Yeah.
That's
and I fumbled it.